And hi, everybody, welcome to Skolo Online, the channel that is all about learning. In this video, we're going to continue with our Facebook adverts campaign. I'm going to show you from scratch how to create your own Facebook advertising marketing campaign for your business. So we have this in two parts. The first part of the video, I'm going to show you how to just create a generic advert on Facebook page that drives traffic to your website. And in this specific case, it could be any type of a website that you have that you just want people to drive traffic to that website. And the second part of the video is specifically for my e-commerce people, and I'm going to show you how to use a Facebook commerce manager to create commerce related adverts for your commerce store on Facebook and Instagram to drive traffic to your commerce store, but also to your WooCommerce website where you can actually start charging people to buy from you. I'm also going to show you from scratch. So I'm going to start with a blank Facebook account, and I'm going to create the business manager account. I'm going to create for you the advert campaign. I'm going to connect my credit cards. I'm going to show you from the beginning exactly, if you were starting from scratch, where to go and how to get started. So this course is geared towards beginners, and if you've never done this before, you should be able to follow along and create your own Facebook adverts, whether it's for just a normal website, a blogging website, or it's for an e-commerce store, depending on what you need it for. Follow along, guys. And if you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe. Please remember to turn on that bell notification so that you will be notified every time I release a new video. We release videos twice per week, videos along the lines of creating your own website, videos for hustlers, videos for business people, small business people. If you want to learn how to start utilizing the internet and the digital space to start creating and running your own business and start making money online, this is the channel for you. So subscribe, like, and let's get started. So, what are all the things and all the features that Facebook for Business can offer you? The first one is you can use a Facebook to promote your website. So if you have a website that does anything, whether it's your company website, your agency website, whether it's a school, it doesn't matter what you're doing, even if it's blogging. Facebook is really good for promoting your website. And I'll show you how to create like a sort of a website traffic type advert on Facebook that will drive traffic to your website for very affordable prices. And what is really nice about Facebook advertising is that you can pay as you afford. I like to call it pay as you afford. You can pay for whatever amount of money that you can afford. If you only afford 100 rands a day, you can create a Facebook ad that only will spend 100 rands a day, and that's all you will be charged. And if you have a little bit more of a bigger budget, you can create the same Facebook ad with a bigger budget. Is just going to reach more people. So Facebook really has revolutionized small businesses getting into advertising. In the past, as a small business, you couldn't afford a lot of the advertising options that were out there. But with Google advertising, Facebook advertising, you can create an advert that suits your budget, and you can grow according to how much you can afford. So for promoting your website, we will discuss a little bit about that. You can promote your products, and that's what we started doing last week, where we create specific product advertising sort of dynamic ads that are just specific to the products that you're selling on an e-commerce store. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. And finally, one of the most important uses of Facebook, to be honest, is to build an audience. We all know that when you start a business, you need a tribe. You can build the most amazing website. And I tell people all the time that come to me to develop something for them, and I ask them, where's your tribe? Where is your tribe? Facebook is really good for building a community around your product, a community around the service that you offer, to start growing and creating discussions, engagement, to test things and figure out whether your service is really, really useful. And this is something I recommend to any entrepreneur who is starting out. Before you spend money on developers, building a website, WordPress, before you go and implement anything, always consider starting with a Facebook group or a Facebook page to test the market. So, for example, if you're sells watches, before you spend a lot of money, on advertising, on a whole lot of things with respect to building your business online, always test the market. Try and figure out Is your product relevant to the market, and is your product something people are willing to buy? And I've attended a lot of accelerator courses. I've done an MBA. I've done a lot of these business type courses, and nowadays if you want to know what's trending, is business plans are out the window. Okay, if you are trying to do a business and you're thinking about writing a business plan, just take that business plan, shove it nicely, and throw it in the toilet, because nobody cares about business plans anymore. Gone are those days where you could write a 20-page document, approach a bank, and say, "This is my business plan, please fund it." That doesn't work anymore. Nowadays, what you do is that you come up with a business idea, all right, and you find what we call a minimum viable product. A minimum viable product is the smallest version of your idea that you can sell to test the market. So if I'm trying to start a business that sells watches, instead of writing a 20-page document of a business plan, what I do is that I come here, I build a quick e-commerce store for watches, I go to Facebook, I do a quick Facebook page, I try growing that audience, and I try testing that market. Hey guys, what do you think about these watches? Would you buy these watches? I actually try to sell those watches for the minimum amount of money that it would cost me. Okay, are people gonna buy that watch? Test your pricing. Is your pricing right? Am I too expensive? Am I too cheap? Perhaps you start selling and everybody's buying your watches and you completely sold out and you realize, no, I'm pricing it a little bit too low. Maybe I must price it a little bit higher. Nobody's buying. I'm pricing it too high. I can price it a little bit low. So you can use Facebook very well for a Facebook group for these kind of things. And this is the modern business plan. And in this video, I'm going to just help you navigate through Facebook. Okay. The first thing that we're going to have a look at is business Facebook. Now, if you followed with us last week, we created a Facebook group. We called it Skolo. We created a Facebook page, a Facebook account that we called Skolo. And within that Facebook account, we created a Facebook page, business page, that we called Mugel Watches Samzan. So this is our Facebook page, right? But you can't see, this is not a Facebook for business, and there's much, much more that Facebook has got to offer that is not immediately visible when you come here. And the first place that I want to show you is the business manager, right? The business manager is a place where you can manage all your Facebook business activities. So your Facebook ads, your billing, connecting your Facebook account to your Instagram account, your WhatsApp account, all of those business related functionalities. It's sort of the overarching sort of manager for Facebook if you want to start utilizing the business functionalities of it. So everybody, if you're getting started with a Facebook page and you want to do anything in Facebook, whether it's advertising, I highly recommend that you start with business Facebook. And the way you get to that is you just go to business.facebook.com. Okay. A lot of the times when you create a Facebook ad, it will create this thing for you automatically, and you'll just sort of find your way, or find yourself navigating through this and not sure exactly how you got where, and forget where the links are. So if you're watching this video, I highly recommend you document this process so that you always know where every link is. If it comes a point where you want to cancel an ad, you want to up a budget, so you need to know where everything is, and that you don't just end up on pages, randomly, and then you can't find that page again the next time you're looking for it, right? So the first page you need to know is business.facebook.com, and you come here, and the first time you come here, I'm creating all of this from scratch as if I am emulating you following this video. When you come here the first time, you would have been creating this from scratch. When you go to Facebook, business.facebook.com, the first time, you will have to sort of confirm a couple of things, verify your business email. It looks like I haven't done that yet. So what I'm going to do there, I'm going to just go to business settings. I'm going to open that in another tab. So you just need to enter your email address there and enter the same email again. Okay, save. Make sure that we resend the verification email. Okay, now once you've confirmed your email address, that sort of warning at the top of the screen is going to go away. Let's just go around and go and do like an ad account. All right, so we don't have one yet, and I'm going to just create one. Okay, I'm going to create a new one. Okay, And I'm going to call this Miguel adverts. All right, and my time zone here is GMT +2. Okay, GMT +2, and my currency is the ZAR, South African Rand. That's all right. And that's the business account I want to create it for. And just like that, I've got a new ads account. You need an ad account before you can run any type of ad campaign on Facebook. And click well done, that's done. Okay, so then you'll see you've got a new ad account number, and I'm the only person that's managing this. If you're running this for a business, you could assign multiple people to manage the same ad account, but for our specific purpose, I'm happy with that. And once you've done that, you have your ad account. Let's go back there and refresh this page and see our ad account show up. You won't see any data yet because you haven't spent anything on this, but this is a good place once you're running your ads to come and have a look at your sort of the performance of your adverts, how much money you're spending and how effective is it, the impressions you're getting. And over time, we will discuss what all of these mean. But for today, I think that's sufficient. So what we need as well, once you've created your ad account, you need a payment method for your ad account. So let's just quickly set that up so that we can go ahead and start making some adverts. Now, once you've created your ad account and added a payment method, there is two ways of going about creating adverts. If you recall, when we started here, we discussed the type of adverts that you can do Facebook for Business, promoting your website, promoting your product, or building an audience. So if you want to promote a website, let's say you've got this website like this one here, and you just want to drive traffic, just random traffic, you just want people to see some advert that drives them to your website, then you want to go for this type of advert that promotes your website. And the best place to do this type of advert is on your Facebook page. So if you go back to, let's just go back to the home. Let's just go back to facebook.com so that you can just see how I got here. If you go to just the home page of your Facebook, which is the first thing that you see when you log into Facebook, you need to go and look for your page, and the page is, there'll be a shortcut there that says Miguel Watches. This is the Facebook page that you created, so you need to go there. So once you get to your Facebook page, the navigation panel as always is towards your left hand side of the screen, and then it will show you your shop posts and a couple of more things. Okay, today that's the shop. What you want to look for is the bottom here where it says promote. Okay, and click on that button. Right, immediately when you click on that button, it just takes you to a pop-up where you've got a different types of adverts that you can make for your business. There's different types for different reasons, and I'm going to take you quickly through them and why you'd want to use a specific one. Now, Facebook is geared towards certain goals, so there's a certain goal that you want to achieve when you create an advert, right? So you could create an advert to get more people engaging with you, sort of creating more leads for your business and getting people messaging you. And then you want to go for a messaging type advert. Facebook is going to target the type of people that are more likely to talk to you and request more information. And if you're in like a services type business, is the kind of thing that you want to go for, because maybe you don't have specific products that people can just have a look at the images and immediately click on it and go buy. You want to create discussions, so you want to go for that. You can create an advert that boosts an Instagram page. You can promote your business locally. This is really good for sort of local based type advertising. If I'm based right here in Johannesburg or South Africa and I want more people that are close to me to find my store, this is a really good advert to create. It will target just people that are within your geographical area. So you will spend less money to target a smaller group of people, but there are people that are more relevant to your type of business. So if you are like a salon, you're doing people's hair, you are doing services, but within a geographical area, you're a restaurant, you want people to visit your specific store, this is the type of advert you want to go for, because it's going to target people within your geographical area. And leads and messages are similar. You're going to get people contacting you that you're going to be able to follow up with on later on. Then you get this one that says get more website visitors. This is really good for this is exactly what we want to do. We want to get people to visit our website. So this is the type of advert we want to create. It's going to encourage people to click on the link and go to your website. And perhaps on your website, you can convert them and do something else with them. Or you can promote your Facebook page. So this is really good for when you're getting started. When you just have, like in my case, I've got 10 followers. Okay, I've got 0 followers, 0 out of 10. So when you're getting started and you want to get that initial traction and getting people on your Facebook group, this is what I recommend you go for. If you want to do this, build an audience, what we have down here. Okay, you want to start creating a community around your brand. This is a really good advert to go for, because it's going to promote your page to people, and people are going to just like it, and then you're going to start having more people liking your page, engaging with your page, and then later on you can sell to those people. So it helps to start creating an audience before you just start bombarding people with adverts. And obviously the more button clicks is similar to getting people to whether you want them to visit your page or your website, they will have to click on it first. Or you can just boost a post. Boosting a post is you've created a certain post, and this is good for bloggers, right? If you have a blogging website and every now and then you create a blog and you want to promote that specific blog, I normally use boost a post. I'll come and I'll create a post on Facebook around that blog, and then I will boost that post. What it does, it just, instead of your post being visible to only the 100 friends you've got on your Facebook list, it will just make your post visible to 1,000 people. So if your post is really interesting, 1,000, 10,000 people will see it. And if it was a blog that you wanted people to engage with, and you thought, if people just see this blog, I know they're gonna love it, then you wanna go for boosting a post. Every time you create a blog, you come up here, you boost it, more people see it, and you can also use this to drive people to your website. So this is also very good for driving traffic, depending on what you're doing. So when you're coming to Facebook advertising, it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, the kind of advert that you want to go for. So in our specific case today, we're going to go with getting more website visitors. Okay, so let's click on that. Right. And before we continue, I just want to just spend a little bit of time and explain to you how Facebook adverts work, right? Facebook doesn't guarantee you're going to make sales. Facebook doesn't even guarantee the conversion that you're going to get, okay? Whether you make sales and the conversion that you get very much depends on how good your advert is or how good your product is. The only thing Facebook guarantees you is that we are going to show your advert to this many people if you pay us this much. So if you pay me 100 Rand, I'm going to show your advert to 1,000 people. If you pay me 1,000 Rand, I'm going to show your advert to 10,000 people. What those 10,000 people do after they see your advert very much depends on the quality of the advert and the quality of the product that you're selling. So Facebook is not a magic pill that you can just create a store, buy some Facebook ads, and boom, you're going to be sorted. It doesn't really work like that. And there's people that waste a lot of money creating Facebook adverts that don't create the right type of advert, and or don't sell the right type of product, or don't target properly. So I'm going to give you like 2 tips. Okay, 2 tips not to waste your money with Facebook advertising. Tip number 1: video adverts always beat image or word adverts every single time. If you come here, don't even think of just putting some text and an image and then you're done. You're not going to get the buck for your money. Yes, Facebook will show that advert to 10,000 people like it has promised you, but you might not get the engagement that you want because people might not even be attracted to it. They might just scroll past it and you might not even get any clicks. And you're going to pay anyway because your advert has been shown, right? So what I always recommend you do before you even come here, okay, before you even come to Facebook, if you are selling these watches, for example, and this is not rocket science, I would highly recommend you go to Fiverr, for example. Okay, Fiverr is really good with this. Okay, Fiverr. You go to fiverr.com and you search for content producers that can help you create video advertising, and you can get this like really, really cheap. So if you're selling watches, I would just like come here and I would just search for, video. Okay, I'm not gonna sign in. Okay, I'll just search for video, um, video, yeah, video editing, right? And so you can come here and then you can look for content producers that can edit your videos and create really professional looking videos that are going to grab people's attention. So, and if you don't want to pay, you can even do this yourself, But if you have time, I mean, you can get this even like 200-300 rands I've seen, because obviously the first gig you see the first time you come here is not the cheapest one. You've got to spend a little bit of time browsing through this, try different keywords, spend a little bit of time going through all of them until you find something that is affordable. And if you find that, okay, you really cannot afford to pay a person like this, you can do this yourself, even with PowerPoint, okay? You can create a PowerPoint a PowerPoint presentation, and you can take like your pictures of your watches like this, right? And you can like take a couple of pictures, maybe 10-20 pictures, right? And you can just create an animation, even if it was just like an animation where you go from one picture to the next, and maybe when you're in one picture you zoom in and you go to the next one, you zoom out, you zoom in, you zoom out. This is not complicated to produce in PowerPoint. So in our case, I'm going to just leave this as is, and I'm going to go with single image because I think people looking at this watch, they will just want to click on it, okay? Because another thing is just if your image is attractive enough, then you don't have to do a lot of with videos, all right? And then you've got a chance to edit this, okay? I'll give you some other tips with respect to editing your text because this is what people will see, when they look at your advert. So the first thing I like to do is I like to be upfront about the cost, okay? And people love this. And you're gonna have a higher chance of people clicking on your advert if they can see a price, especially if that price is an affordable price, okay? So designer, okay, watches from 59 rand, boom, okay. Same day delivery, or what's even better, free delivery countrywide. Okay, there's a couple of things I've done here, and if you can employ this thinking, even if you're doing Google adverts, Facebook adverts, you'll have a higher chance of your ad being clicked on than the next person. The first thing is numbers. Okay, numbers always prove to people love to see numbers, and you are more likely to have people click on your advert when they can see a number. It doesn't matter whether you had 59 or you had 599 here. It really didn't matter. People just like to know, oh, this is 59 rand, or this is 599 rand. Free delivery, you got those power words, free delivery, countrywide delivery, those words that make people like free things. People are just, their minds, people's brains are wired to just be attracted to that word free. So there's many ways you can get around this. You can find a way of combining your delivery cost within the price of the watch. So if this watch was 100 rand, then you charge 200 rand for it, and then you say free delivery, and people will still buy that watch because of the free delivery, right? And then you do that. Countrywide, people want to know, are they going to be able to get this watch, countrywide? And then be specific, okay? Countrywide delivery, South Africa. Okay, when you're starting out as a business, as a small business, you must always be intentional about the area that you're serving. Too many people go into business, and when they're starting out and they want to serve and sell watches to the whole world, or they want to create an international product, they want to immediately go big. But that is never the right approach. The right approach is always to go with a smaller market and a smaller niche, and then grow your market over time. So even though you think, oh no, there's more people searching for watches globally than people searching for watches in South Africa, yes, that might be the case, but at the same time, there's also less competition for the keyword watch in South Africa. So it's even watches in Joburg. So you have a higher chance, even if there's only 50 people in South Africa that are searching for watches, you have a higher chance of those 50 people finding you than you have if you just try to target the entire world and there's 1,000 people in the entire world. There is much more competition in the entire world. So as much as there's more people searching for watches globally, there is more competition. Sorry, I'm not even going to say country word. I'm just going to say Johannesburg, South Africa. More people in Johannesburg will click on your advert than if you try to sell this to the entire universe at the same time. Then, the rest is pretty straightforward. You can choose to target people, and initially, you can go for people in your local area because you specifically said Johannesburg, but I wouldn't do that because you're going to limit your ad. Even though I did say in the wording, you gotta say South Africa, it doesn't mean that you want to now limit the targeting to South Africa. The reason why you say you use South Africa or Johannesburg in the wording is because you want people to identify with you as a sort of like a reachable. You're a company, you're in Joburg, we can find you. You're not just some random internet company that's going to run away with my money. You're based right here and know where you are. So you want to put it in the wording, but when it comes to targeting, you actually want to go wide. You can target the entire country there. And so I wouldn't go for people in my local area. Automatic placement, yes. Run this ad continuously, no. I'm going to choose a specific date when the ad is going to end. So I'm going to give it like 10 days. Okay, I want to run this for 10 days. So it's going to run from today until the 19th of September. And I'm going to run it for like 50 rands per day. When you get started, Facebook will advise you the recommended budget. You can see it's somewhere between there and there, okay? So you don't want to go below that because your ad might not show at all, okay? And you don't want to go too much above it because some people think, oh no, if I just throw more money at it, then I'm going to show more. Actually, that's not the case. You want to be within the recommended number. And the reason for that is, where is this now? The reason for that is if you put too much budget, then you just saturate your advert, and without getting more benefit, you're still going to spend all that money. If you say to Facebook, I'm giving you 300 rands a day, Facebook will spend 300 rands a day, whether or not you get clicks worth 300 rands a day or not. And I've seen this. Okay, so there is an optimal place where, based on the available audience for your specific advert, you want to end up in. Okay. So let's just, okay, I'm just going to do this manually because this stupid slide. I'm going to leave it at 50 rands a day. All right. And then the payment is in South African rands. And the account, this is where you're going to select your ads account. Okay. And once you're happy with how everything looks, the URL, it means when people click on that learn more button, it's going to take them to your page. And what I always recommend, I know it's just tempting to put in your URL there. What I normally do is I put the shop page, okay? So I don't want people to land on my home page. I want people to land on my shop page. I want people to land immediately on the page where they can see the watches and the prices and immediately choose the one that they want. You'll be surprised people can't navigate. I'll send people a link and they'll still ask me, but where's this watch? They want the specific URL to that specific watch. So perhaps it's useful to just put in the URL of the shopping page instead. All right. And, you can put in a headline for your watches. Now my text has completely disappeared. It's because I changed my URL. Okay. So I need to put in the top of the range. when it comes to the audience here, you've got website visitors and lookalikes, okay? People in your local area, or you can choose specific people with targeting. Now, when you've just created this is actually the best option to go for. Your website visitors lookalike audiences recommended. But when you're just getting started, I don't think Facebook has got enough information to determine who are your lookalikes, website visitors. And they might get this wrong, and then you might end up targeting the wrong people. When you get started, actually, I highly recommend you manually set your targeting using geographically, obviously. So people in a certain area, okay? So go in here and edit that, and choose specific sort of countries and people, for your advert. So you could decide men and women. You want to show your advert to only women. Like I'm selling women watches, but I want to show this to men as well, because I actually find that a lot of people that come to these stores are men and husbands and boyfriends coming to buy watches for their girlfriends and wives and spouses as gifts. A good percentage of traffic comes from people that are buying gifts. So do not ever underestimate that. Show it to everybody. Age range, I'm going to leave it like that, but I'm going to work on the location. Ferndale, Gauteng, that is way too limited. I'm going to actually just show the entire South Africa, okay, as a country, okay, like that, right? And I've got a fairly broad audience, but that's okay, because South Africans are similar, and if you show to the whole South Africa, that's okay. So and this is where Facebook and Google advertising differs. For example, you can go into interest and likes, and I'm just going to try and find it here. Okay, so you can go into detailed targeting there, all right, and then you can try and look for specific behavior. So you can try and say, I want people that are, I don't know, people that are interested in business, um, you know, business to business, small business, whatever, and it's gonna try and find people that have interests in small business and whatever. And you can try and find other industry and areas, and maybe fashion and beauty. And it's gonna try and find people that shopping and fashion, and it's gonna try and find people that have got these interests, and show your advert to these people. And what I like about this is that you've already narrowed it from just being random South Africans to people that are interested in fashion and people that are interested in small business. So you can click save, and you have somehow narrowed. And this is as far as Facebook marketing targeting goes. And in my opinion, like I've already mentioned, I don't think they've got enough data sets to even tell me who. I mean, like, how can Facebook tell even from my specific account what my interests are from just everything I do on Facebook? I know over time they try to gather that, but they definitely are not as advanced as Google. So if you really want to do good target advertising, I highly recommend you do Facebook. But if you want to do phishing advertising, which is random advertising to just everybody who is interested in online shopping, that has shown interest in online shopping in the past, then you come here and you do an advert like this, and then you click promote, you're done, and then your advert goes to all those people, and they charge you per click, but it's not really very well targeted, but it works, and it's quite affordable, and it's a good way to get started in advertising. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm not going to promote this advert, because I'm going to cancel the ad, because I'm not really selling these watches, and this store is not really live. It's really built for educational purposes only. So that is the first type of advertising advert that you can create for Facebook. The next type of campaign or advert that I want to show you how to create is for e-commerce people. So if you're not running an e-commerce business, maybe you can stop here. But if you're running an e-commerce business, driving people just to your website with an advert that I showed you might not be the most efficient way to do it. Actually, the most efficient way to do it is using the Commerce Manager. Okay. So if we go back to the slide here, I explained to you business Facebook, and we've gone through this already. We've created a business Facebook account, created Facebook ads, and created billing, and even created one ad to show you how to do it. Now, the commerce manager is specifically for e-commerce and commerce people, business people, hustlers that want to sell stuff online. And this is by far one of the most effective ways to do it if you want to do it on Facebook and Instagram. Now, if you watch the video from last week, we created this commerce manager account, and we connected this to our Facebook page, and we managed to even get the catalog installed. And if you haven't done this, go and watch that video, and then you can come back later to this point where you already have your commerce manager account all set up, synced with your WooCommerce shop. So every time you change a product, if you change pricing, anything you do on your WooCommerce store, you can come here, and it will automatically just sort of sync everything. Once you've done all of that, to create an advert, you can see your shops here. This is your first shop. You come to ads there, and you'll see initially you don't have any advert, and you have two type of adverts: your traffic ads and your dynamic ads. Your traffic ads, I think they're similar, and they're just trying to be fancy about it, but both of them are actually dynamic ads. So I'm going to go with traffic ad. Okay. To write ads, you need at least that's all right. So let's go and create our ads. And the ad account that we're going to go for is that one. So at this point, you need to have an ad account, and then you can continue. Okay. When you get here, this is actually really, really simple to do this. This is simpler to do than Google advertising, and most people go for this because it's simpler. I always choose header, and you've got an option between the text and the logo. Okay, and you can toggle them and see the difference. So this one will just put a sort of a logo there, and you can upload whatever image you want there, or you can put it as text, and then you can write whatever you want. Miguel watches Mzansi, I think that's perfect. And then the catalog, it will this is the same catalog you created when you did the commerce account. So this is automated. Okay, it's going to just put in that same catalog in here, and you can decide whether you want it to order dynamically, or you want a specific order that you want it to follow. And I always recommend just leave it dynamically, so that it just sort of shows the different adverts to different people. And you can choose store collections, all products, do not modify, auto created, and I just go for all products. So I want the dynamic ad to be created from all the products that I've got. Okay, so dynamic video, there's not enough product images in the product set to do this, so you have to create more products. So that's not gonna work. Let's see the image. All right, so it looks like we're going to have to be stuck with an image, but I really wanted to do this with a dynamic video so that I could show you, creating that dynamic video from all the products that you've got in your store. So perhaps what I would recommend you do if you get stuck here with this problem, because I think I've got like 10 watches or so in my store, and I was just building it for demonstration purposes. In a real store, you're going to have 50, 100 different products, and so just create more products and more product categories, and when you get here, you're not going to have this problem of the video, because honestly, the dynamic video is just the most amazing one that you can do here, because it's going to be playing your videos based on the products that you've got in there. But alternatively, you can choose an image, and then you can upload an image, and then you just will have an image advert. But that defeats the whole purpose of trying to have a dynamic advert, doesn't it? So instead, I'm going to pick video. All right, and you've got an option there to create a slideshow. And for a slideshow there, you can be like, okay, 3 to 10 images in a video for up to 15 seconds long. So it will just pick 4 videos, and then a couple of images, and create a video for you. And you can choose whether you want it to be a vertical type or a square type. Okay, so because you're doing this both on Instagram and Facebook, I recommend you go for square type. And we're just gonna go for 3 images, 6 seconds. Because we don't have a lot of images in our collection, and I'm just gonna go with that. Okay, so let's just select that, and then you'll be able to add the images yourself. Okay, Right. So you also got an option to have some text on the image. Miguel designs, right? And I'm gonna pick the text color not to be white because you can't quite see white. So let's see, red, black. That's all right. And then you can change the font as well. Let's look at that. Oh, that's all right. Use video on their thing, right? And then at the bottom here where it says write something here, just change that to shop online, maybe. Okay. All right, and then at the bottom here where it says destination, you can just go back to your URL. Just copy that. Where was I? Just get your URL there and just put your URL there. Okay, and again back to the shop page, and that's it. So that's your advert. People will be able to like interact with it, swipe up to load, shop online, and if they click on shop online, it will take them to your page. And you can see what the advert looks like on Instagram and what it looks like on Facebook. So this is the Instagram version of the advert. Okay.